Ciao ragazzi e benvenuti a una nuova puntata di Pizza Talk. Oggi cerchiamo di parlare di anarchia in un modo un po' più approfondito, grazie al nostro ospite Marcus. Hi Marcus, it's a pleasure to meet you. E prima di tutto chiederò a Marcus di presentarsi a voi, chiaramente metterò i sottotitoli, quindi capirete tutti, e dopodiché parleremo un po' dell'anarchia, cos'è l'anarchia, perché Marcus pensa di essere anarchico e cos'è l'anarcocomunismo di cui Marcus è forse un po' più vicino. Okay, so Marcus, could you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yes, so I'm Markus Kasperczyk, and I'm a complete no-name in the scene. I'm just a random dude. Um, yeah, my background is I'm a software developer. Doesn't matter here. Uh, years ago, I uh, came across some anarcho syndicalist group,
Mhm.
and the philosophy stuck with me, not the people necessarily. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so from your point of view, dal tuo punto di vista, what's anarchy? Cos'è l'anarchia?
So anarchism is about abolishing all hierarchies, so to speak. Not necessarily if you don't have a better replacement. Actually, you do think about replacements, but it's a criticism of hierarchies. And the criterion when hierarchies are bad is if somebody has power to oppress you or give you orders, something like that. Um, it's also somewhat influenced by Marxism, actually. So when anarchists think of capitalism, they think of a hierarchical system, contrary to popular belief. Um, so basically, what it is in our view, um, you have a boss. He owns not necessarily the boss today, but somebody owns the company where you work, and it's not you. And
Mh,
that's a hierarchy, and it's a command structure because you do have a boss, don't you? Most of you out there.
yeah,
So it's also a socialist philosophy traditionally.
okay. Ti sei descritto quando ci siamo conosciuti ti sei descritto come un anarcocomunista. In realtà ne hai già parlocchiato in questa risposta che mi hai dato, però vorrei capire cos'è appunto l'anarcocomunismo e perché tu sei anarcocomunista. So when we met uh, virtually, when we virtually met, you introduced yourself as an anarcho-communist. And I want to know what's anarcho-communism, even if you
Mhm.
already said something on anarcho-communism, and why are you an anarcho-communism communist?
Mhm. Okay. Even in the anarcho-socialist spectrum, there's a little bit of a distinction between anarcho-syndicalism and anarcho-communism. Anarcho-communism is um, really more about actually even abolishing money, and everybody just the slogan is "all is for all." So it's a kind of utopian thing where we are talking about a society that already produces more than it needs and therefore can just distribute to everyone and not ask too many questions. Or if there are shortages, which may always be the case, toilet paper, then you just distribute, you ration democratically. Um, so what is the specific anarchist point about it is actually basically it's about the way we want to get there.
Mhm.
We I say we by now. I mean, anarcho-communism stuck with me for a couple of years. In January this year, I kind of grew out of it, but yeah, the idea is to abolish the state and the market simultaneously, um, private property in particular, and democracy would function a little differently than
Mm.
it does right now. So it's more about just everybody coming together, or if we can't because the community is too big, then we don't have fixed political positions, but we would send people to summits. What was the question? Why anarcho-communism?
Yeah, exactly. And why are you an anarcho, or if you are an anarcho-communist?
So I still think that this whole thing with fixed political positions, which other brands of communism, for example, Leninists, kind of have, I still think that there's a problem there. That maybe we should actually have political positions that aren't reproduced. Where, for example, if you have a summit, when the summit is over and the decision is made, there's no re-election because there's no position to be re-elected to. And I like that idea. Then there are other more bureaucratic positions where some task just has to be done again and again, where anarchists basically say, okay, let's narrow down the mandate and let's make sure that a democratic body always has oversight and can call the person back if they do nonsense. This one is actually also prevalent in Leninism, just for everybody's information.
Ok. I'm trying to... Adesso cerco di farti una domanda un po' paradossale. To give you a paradoxical question. Well, maybe not a paradoxical, but provocative. Una domanda provocatoria, ok? Cosa resta se, appunto, seguiamo l'anarchia pura, cioè non c'è più il potere, non c'è più il denaro? What's left if we, as following the anarchist idea, we put away government and money? What's left? How do people, how do you know that people will behave correctly and that people will not misbehave with other people? Come sai che la gente non si comporterà male con le altre persone?
Okay, there are a variety of different opinions on that one.
Okay.
Again, here there's not so much a difference actually between anarcho-communists and Leninists, because basically both say in the end state you want okay, it sounds a little bit harsh. It sounds like something the Americans invented. Everybody's armed.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. But okay, it doesn't need to be that harsh where everybody can just walk around and shoot everyone else if they don't like what they are doing. No, there are intermediate models where you just have rotating militia. Like you don't have police, and of course you still have rules, but basically it's mostly about, okay, if somebody says, hey, this person did something to me and I don't like it, then there's a public hearing, and who enforces that people go to this public hearing and the matter is sorted out? Well, that would be the rotating militia, where basically it's free to everyone to get there with some minor not so minor vetting that the person is reasonable, and of course with the idea behind it that it's not a professional class. It's not you want the rotation, so the guy who has the gun right now knows tomorrow somebody else has a gun.
Okay, but
and
okay,
really the case. I mean, in Europe we don't even have armed cops,
yeah.
so that's awesome. So
That's a lucky situation, cioè è una situazione fortunata. L'osservazione che ti faccio qui però è questa: chi ti assicura che chi ha le armi in un dato periodo non faccia in modo di tenersele? So who gives you the I seem like Renzi, shish. Who gives you the certainty that who has arms, weapons, who's armed now, who has weapons doesn't do something to keep them?
Are we talking now in this
In this
future?
scenario.
I see. That's a good question, actually. I mean, there's, it's a matter of actually implementing it before we answer such questions, I would say. Like there needs to be some pragmatism how we actually get there. You can have good ideas all day, but in the end of the day, what's it worth if you don't have a path to that? So
Sì, più che altro perché ci si basa sempre sull'idea dell'uomo come essere buono e non è sempre così. You always think of systems based on the thought that the human being is a good one, but it's not always that way.
No.
No.
I mean, like, if I thought humans were just good and why would I criticize hierarchies then?
Okay.
Like, if there's a good king or dictator, why abolish him? No, the humans can be very bad, and social relations need to change in order for humans to behave good.
Ok, ti faccio un'ultima domanda, anche questa un po' provocatoria, ok? Perché so che comunque gli anarchici sono molto diversi l'uno dall'altro, però ti voglio fare una domanda precisa su un argomento preciso, che magari quando verrà pubblicata l'intervista in realtà si spera sarà finito, perché pubblicheremo questa intervista più avanti. Qual è il tuo pensiero sulla guerra in Ucraina? So, based on the fact that every anarchist is different from the other, okay? Every anarchist is different, okay? I want to know your opinion on the matter as an anarchist, okay? Knowing that anarchists do not believe in countries, okay. What's your opinion on the war in Ukraine? And we close the circle and we can go.
Yeah, right. Okay, it was a good interview. Yeah. Yeah, it's a messy situation, and many people focus on the fact that Russia chose the war. Other people focus on the fact that the war has a prehistory. They point to a coup in Ukraine in 2014. They point to decisions in 2008 by NATO to bring Ukraine and Georgia into NATO. It's a messy situation, and in the end of the day, it's not really in our hands. And the only thing that we might be able to achieve before actually being in a position where we can do something about it is maybe change our societies. Like that's the only thing that we can really do at this point. It's the only thing we can ever do until we actually are in power. Power being a somewhat critical concept for an anarchist, but yeah, we don't really can do much except trying to change our society, and then we can have a talk. Who's the bad guy here?
Ok, grazie mille Marcus, è stata una bellissima intervista. Thank you Marcus, it was a great interview. Con voi ragazzi ci vediamo al prossimo video, alla prossima intervista. Mi raccomando, iscrivetevi a questo canale che vi porta dei contenuti molto interessanti e commentate qua sotto. E noi ci vediamo alla prossima intervista. Ciao ragazzi, è diventato tutto nero. Ciao.
I enjoyed it too. I guess that's what you said. Okay. Good.
Yeah. I said that it was a great interview and to subscribe and comment if they want to. Okay. Thank Marcus. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank Marcus.
Pleasure too. Bye.